Welcome to Washington Square News. We are NYU student-run independent newspaper. My name is Manasa Gudavalli. I am one of the editors at large at Washington Square News and the former multimedia editor. We were founded in 1973 after the merging of two campuses, the university in the Bronx and our Lower Manhattan campus. We combined the two papers to form Washington Square News. Since then, we have made many changes and developments. Our big break was in 2003 and 2004 when we released our story on the Bopes Boy.
This is part of the series of articles we did on Bopes Boy in 2004.
The Bopes Boy was a boy that lived in Bopes for many, many months. He was given financial aid and scholarships and loans. Those were able to cover his tuition, but they were not able to cover his housing. He had wrote about it in a few blogs, but no one had ever covered his story, and Washington Square News had reached out to him to cover that story. At first, he was hesitant because publicizing it on a university paper might make NYU officials not very happy, but it turns out that the response was better than he thought. With Washington Square News' article, he gained a lot of traction and became almost like an overnight celebrity. The dean of his college had reached out and was able to offer him free NYU housing for the last few weeks of that semester. That story really showed the importance of what student journalism can do, because we're covering the stories and we're breaking the stories that other publications don't see and don't get to first. Back when we had print publication and print was the main source of how people got their news, this was before people had iPhones in their pockets, there was newsstands everywhere. Every single building had multiple newsstands with Washington Square News' paper on there. We were printing daily, so every morning, like hot on the stands would be our newspaper. Students, professors, faculty, they were all reading us. It is really beautiful to remember that we worked for a publication that was booming at the time of print and that had thrived in that era. In 2000, we created our website. That's when we launched nyunews.com, and since then we've been publishing online, both online and print, up until COVID-19. During COVID-19, when the pandemic first hit, that took a toll on a lot of publications, especially Washington Square News, being run by students after everyone had to go home. But we were still able to publish online, and there's a lot of beauty in that. We still had a team of people working remotely, and we were able to actually get a lot of really good work done, covering COVID-19 in New York City, covering NYU's response to it and everything. In September 2021, with conflict with our advisor, the majority of the WSN staff had all resigned. We had published a resignation letter on our website, and we had stopped publications since then, and then we regrouped back in February. And during the fall 2021 semester, NYU did not have Washington Square News, which is their primary newspaper, and that was a significant loss. Since then, Washington Square News is still recovering, but we are back and we're better than we've ever been. So we meet most days a week, Monday through Thursday and every Sunday, to work on our publication. It's so nice to be back in person in the office and to be able to connect with your colleagues and then have those colleagues become your friends. Now my colleague and friend, Franco, will show you around the newsroom and show you how busy we always are.
Hey everyone, I'm Franco, the video director here at Washington Square News, and we're back in office, we're back in person after the COVID-19 pandemic and other struggles throughout our newspaper. But the major key difference is that we're not printing a physical newspaper anymore. We're now online and on social media only. But our office is just the same. We are still student journalists reporting everything that is happening around Washington Square Park. Now let's head inside to see how it's going. Our office includes so many student journalists. We have over 60 this semester, and we're always reporting about different stories, including news, culture, arts, even multimedia. Our different desks that focus on these areas report on all these different stories throughout the community, throughout Washington Square Park and NYU. But now we're focused on social media and our website, the multimedia aspect. Talking about multimedia, our team here, the multimedia team, focuses on those pictures and videos that you see throughout the website and social media. The whole office is led by our editor-in-chief here, talking to them, Arnav. Throughout management, they guide us to make sure that we are reporting everything that we can, even with our news desk over in the corner. Those are most of the stories that you see going out and breaking news, special events, everything. But all those stories are not just checked by management, they're checked by the special people who make sure that every word is spelled correctly, that grammar is done well, that all of our facts are checked. That is the copy team. The copy team over here improves and makes sure that everything goes out correctly. Students here are all NYU students, and they're all focused on making sure that news, our culture, and our information is shared freely and fairly throughout Washington Square Park, NYU, and the whole world.
Just as Eddie had shown you, Connecting to the Future, we have a lot more plans to grow, both in our website and our social media, just everything digital in terms of our publication. So we plan on definitely upping our social media coverage, both on Instagram and Twitter. We still post on Facebook to reach our audience that is parents occasionally, and our website. We're constantly making updates, making it more modern, working on different layouts and stuff to make our website more engaging. Just as we used to put emphasis on print layout, we are focusing that emphasis on digital layout, making our site more organized, making everything more visual, more engaging for our readers, along with also making hard-hitting and important content for them to read. Since 1973, we've definitely gone through a lot of challenges, but we've overcome everything. Since then, we've been growing and growing. We take all the challenges and hurdles that come to us and we jump over them. And that really tells our readers what WSN is. We are back, and we're back together, back in person and working together. And this collaborative environment, this really welcoming environment, is also what makes our publication so strong.